Speaking of like a childlike nature, because I felt like he was slightly stunted because of this training he's been put through.
Mm-hmm.
He's whenever he is like happy and excited, he kind of goes back to like a 12 or 13-year-old a little bit. I felt the same way with Rey. Do you guys see that scene when Rey is just sitting outside her AT and she puts on that rebel helmet?
Yeah.
She seemed like a little girl.
I think it just reminded me of her like dreaming of escaping with her family.
When you consider the rest of the movie, I mean, she was left there. She looked like she was about what?
3 or 4.
No,
Not that.
6, 7.
I would say
I
probably
would say
six.
maybe. I would say
Six.
8ish.
And there weren't a whole lot of humans there. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have any family. She lives by herself. She is a 19-year-old, 6-year-old, practically. I felt that way sometimes. Especially when she puts on the helmet. I personally feel like...
Just like something a little kid would do.
Like, this is something a kid would do. We're watching a child that has been left there. Who leaves her kid there?
I mean, I have a theory.
I think it's...
Joe Dirt's parents.
Is it Luke?
I think she's a Skywalker.
I think she is too.
I think
But
she is too.
At first, I was like, okay, I think she's a kid to like Han and Leia or Luke.
Yeah,
or something
because they
like
kept talking all these similarities. They
Yeah.
both understood the Falcon.
that. Yeah, but I mean, at 6 years old, I would think that like Leon, if he was gone for like 10 years or something like that, would come back and would recognize, aren't you my dad?
Yeah.
But she didn't seem to recognize Luke, Leia, Han, anybody. You know?
She's absolutely not Han and Leia's kid because they know they had a son that they lost.
Yeah.
They don't know they have a daughter, and it'd be weird for them to forget.
Yeah.
We're skipping way ahead, but the moment that Finn loses the lightsaber and Rey takes it, like, I got really
From
emotional at
Kylo?
that point. Well, yeah, Kylo calls for it, and it goes to Rey. You know, she calls for it.
That's the moment I wrote down, I knew Rey, she must be Skywalker.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote down. Like, I just feel like
when that moment happened, and it's almost as if the saber chose her.
Yeah.
It's kind of how they shot it. When that happened, I saw like images of like that saber being held by Anakin Skywalker as he saved slaves in Clone Wars, and then Luke, using it to free himself from the Wampa, and then I saw her holding it. Like, I legitimately like cried again. They might not even meant for me to feel that way. It could have just been like, she has a saber, isn't this cool? But in my head, I'm writing an entire fucking love poem about how amazing it is that she's holding the saber.
All of the saber.
And it's amazing because she's Luke Skywalker's daughter.
Because we're talking about Rey, and I mean, obviously her backstory will be revealed later. I guess one of the problems I had was how adept she was with no prior experience.
Yes, but if she is in fact a grandchild of Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One.
That's the only reason in my head I was justifying.
yeah.
I can see how she's adept in the Force. Like like Anakin was fairly.
Well, how would
like,
she
that's
even
why
know
could fly.
what
But
mind trick is?
my thing I thought was weird was how she learned how the Force worked. Like, how did she know how a mind trick worked?
Exactly, because Anakin,
When
it assisted him when he was racing. It assisted him in his life.
Yeah,
But she used a mind trick.
I understand it
This
assisting her when she flew, and
Yeah.
like maybe when
This
she
only
fought.
happened after she had her vision at Maz Kanata's palace, right?
Yeah, and also after Kylo like interrogating her and all that.
Yeah, like
her
they
resisting.
spent a lot of time showing back to forth them just looking at each other, and then she started saying, "You're afraid," And I took that as like Kylo trying to attack,
and
then not expecting that she's going to fight back, and then her learning how to fight back while she's doing it, and then finally able to push him. I think that when she did that, she like broke the dam of discovery. Like, I've always been a good scavenger because I can always tell what it is. Maybe the Force told her what's nice.
Yeah.
The Force is what cushioned her as she, jumped really far, and she didn't really, because she was very acrobatic in her fight with, not acrobatic, but she was running up and down all over the place when she was fighting Kylo.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with any of that, and this includes Finn too, is, first of all, how well trained is Kylo with a lightsaber? Because he seemed like he was pretty good.
Yeah.
They should not have at all been able to.
They should have no chance. They should have
Like,
no
if
chance.
Han Solo attacked Darth Vader, Vader would kill him in 2 seconds. Not 27
I think like Finn
seconds.
shouldn't have been able to stand up against him like he did.
I mean, I can see Finn having, Stormtrooper training. And if that includes something like that weird thing, maybe.
True.
I can see maybe, okay, he's a good melee combat artist, but I still feel I feel like a non-Force user would not be able to use a lightsaber the way it needs to be used.
That's what I'm saying.
That's me
He was
personally.
trained by Snoke, and you see like how adept he is at doing certain things. You figure lightsaber fighting will be up there.
I can see Rey Rey maybe a little bit more being better at it because she's a Skywalker. She's an absolute natural. She's also been fighting with the staff for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I kind of wish they showed her fighting way better with the staff to show that when she got that lightsaber, this was meant for me, you know?
Yeah.
Personally, I would have felt that way. I think that we're going to get a saber staff Rey in the next movie.
That'd be cool.
I think. She seems better at that. But I will say, in the course of that fight, both of the characters were fighting with both hands, which I thought was impressive. Mm-hmm. They would go from left to right.
Yeah.
Because that's not easy.